Yo, we are live. Day 34 of live streaming every day. This is kind of wild. Yesterday I saw somebody jumped in the chat, which is the first time I've seen that, and only my computer's over there. So if you are catching this and you want to say what's up, I'll try to keep an eye on it. Yeah, it was just a first time for me. So most of the views that I get are like post after, but yeah, man. I switched my therapy appointment from I normally did Wednesdays and now I'm doing Mondays, which I think is cool because like then I can just start my week chit chatting about my problems and fucking kind of just getting squared away for the week and getting a good mindset. I like hashing through just the shit that I'm dealing with up here and in the physical world, and that's what I like about this too, just kind of talking through some of my shit. I mean, we all have it, but yeah, I don't know. But and she said she put in a referral for me to get some Adderall. Never really went on that for more than just because I got too drunk and I needed a pick me up. But yeah, so we'll see how that goes for my brain and getting shit done and stuff. But man, I was feeling kind of a certain way with how I still haven't done a bunch of shit that I want to do. But you know, if I really think about it and I look back at, you know, this month or last month, I guess it's already the fourth. No, it's the third. But I can see that I did do a lot of things. I mean, I've been consistent on my podcast. I've done 75 hard every day. No drinking. I mean, just those three things right there, plus some video projects that I finished up, some organization, getting this weekly schedule, which is so new. Dude, I'm 39 years old and I still don't know how to use a fucking calendar. Like, God, man, growing up in a cult, although it has its advantages, has a lot of disadvantages. I mean, it makes for an interesting story, I guess, but I didn't really learn a lot of real world applications. And, you know, I was just complaining about this. I don't mean to complain all the time, but I mean, this is just me talking, I guess. Why I used to have a terrible relationship with my dad, and the last 2 years I've been working on repairing that. And it's not, I didn't feel like I was holding like a ton of resentment per se, but I was just like, you know what, I'll leave that in the past. But I never had really confronted it or tried to resolve it. And so I felt like our relationship just kind of dissipated. And so now I'm really trying to like strengthen it and grow it. But, and he has recognized like some of the mistakes in the past and just how things were when I was younger. And I mean, dude, my dad didn't know what the fuck he was doing for sure. But I'm like, well, then why'd you keep having more babies? But that's beside the point. But he will always say, at least I taught you the value of hard work, which to his point, he made us work a lot. And so he assumes that by making us work a lot, we learned the value of hard work. I kind of wanted to bring this up at some point when he says that, because I'm like, no, you just forced us to work a lot, but you didn't show us, you know, what that could do for you, or, you know, the reasons or anything. So I'm like, you taught us how to work a lot and get no results. Which was terrible, and it was working a lot for things he wanted, not that I wanted. He never taught me how to work for things that I wanted. It wasn't teaching. It was just, you do what I want you to do or else. And so, I learned to hate working hard. I fucking despised it. And so I wouldn't consider myself that hard of a worker. I'm pretty lazy. I find myself dicking off a lot. I find myself unmotivated a lot. I'm not sure if that stems from childhood, but I do know that, like, yeah, I don't really consider myself like a super hard worker, compared to at least, some successful people I know, or if I don't know, but that I follow. So, I guess I'm always checking this now. So, but I do think that if I would have been trained more about working hard for something that, like, I wanted to achieve, or to take on a big project and see how, like, from start to finish it came together, that would have been helpful. But also, I mean, my dad just never made it. I mean, he had a lot of big ideas and he wanted to be very successful, but he could just never figure it out. And it's very interesting. I don't really know all the reasons for that, because he has family members who are pretty successful. My mom has families that's pretty successful. There's a lot of help and people around him that were successful. And the thing I know about successful people is they are willing to help. They're willing to give of their time and their energy to help other people succeed. So I don't know if it was just, his pride and not willing to take any help from other people, not willing to take advice, because I do think he worked a lot. I also think that he was busy a lot, and more busy and less actually getting things that were important done. And then he would constantly do this thing where you work on something for a while, find out it's hard, it seems like a really good idea, find out it's harder than you thought it was initially, eventually lose motivation, quit it, and then start a new venture. And Alex Hormozy talks a lot about that, where there's this cycle where you find out about a thing and it's exciting. Your friend tells you about this thing, or you hear about it and you're like, oh, this is the next big gold rush. It's a big opportunity. You can make all this money for this little work. And then you're like, yeah, cool. So you jump in, you invest your time and money into it, and then you find out that there's all this stuff under the surface, all this tediousness, all of these complications that you have to work through. And you realize it's just like every other opportunity. Yes, there might be a promise there, but there's still a fuck ton of actual work that you don't want to do, that you have to do. So then over time, you start getting more and more frustrated, and you eventually bail out of that opportunity. And that's when people quit and they never start again, or the people like my dad will quit and then start on a new project. And I do it all the time, or I have done it, and potentially still do it. But what Alex Hormozy says is, like, you see this level, and if people were just not to quit there, but instead just keep pushing through, you would eventually figure out how to deal with those problems, the stuff that you hated, etc., and you'd start seeing results, and then you would be successful. But most people quit right before that moment, and so then they restart over, and so they have to go back to zero, and then restart with a new thing, and then you find the whole cycle repeating. When he said about that, it made so much sense. I was like, holy shit, that's what I've been doing my whole life. That's what my dad did his whole life. And so, for example, with the live video, with the podcast, this is something that I'm like, yeah, I have already found the difficulties. I've already found the challenges. There have been plenty of those moments I wanted to quit, with the podcast, I did quit for a while, knowing I would get started, but still just taking a break, etc. And I know, I'm like, dude, just keep pushing through, keep working on it, keep growing it. It does take time, and eventually you'll get there. And I'm saying this now as an inspired fuck. And maybe talk to me in 6 months and I won't be inspired. So, you just got to keep working after it. I don't really know how I got on that tangent, but I do think that my dad believes that he taught me the value of hard work, but I don't think that that's quite accurate. And, there's also the idea of like working smarter, not harder. And I know even like people like my dad would say that, like, oh, you gotta work smarter, not harder. And it would come down to this little thing, but you can really grandize that principle. It's just like, well, here we are working harder in these little things that don't get us anything. Why don't we work smarter and not put our labor into this farm that gets us no money? Why don't we work smarter and put our labor into some other thing, whether it's construction or, like if you would have started a construction company back then instead of just working on the farm, it'd be making way more money. Like that would be, to me, working smarter. Or growing the business to then when he has employees. I mean, he did that for a while, but having employees is another struggle. And a lot of times, I've never had an employee, so I can't really speak to this, but people that get employees, that becomes like the first time they do it, and then they encounter all of these complications and problems of having employees, that it's another skill set that you have to learning how to deal with employees, learning how to treat employees, learning how to get the best out of employees, learning how to take care of them, learning how to take care of issues between employees that have problems with each other, etc. So there is just so much there that's its own set of learning curves. And so a lot of business owners, they'll start, if they get an employee, then it doesn't work out, and then it's like, fuck, it's just easier to do this myself, which I can understand that, but then you get stretched too thin again because you're micromanaging everything. You're not willing to let go of control. So yeah, there's just a lot of fucking wild shit that I still have like yet to experience, I guess, in this process. I was just thinking of, I was talking to my friend TJ. He owns a towing company, and he started that when he was super young, maybe 19 or 20, maybe 21, I don't know. But he's built it into quite a successful business. But he said that was one of the things that he learned a lot at. How do I want to say that? It was like a big growing lesson, was how to let go of control of managing the employees and all of the schedule and all of that, because he was just burning himself out and he was micromanaging everything, and so nothing was growing. And as soon as he took the advice of, or let like the manager, the operations manager, whoever, like handle all the stuff, he's like, yeah, sometimes she makes decisions that I wouldn't make, and it frustrates me, but I have to let her like be able to make these things and feel like her input matters and like move forward. And so, yeah, that would be super hard for me, like to let go of control of some of these things. And I'm like, dude, I want to have my fingers in this, so I don't know, man. Anyway, I was rambling on that, but this week, I got like kind of the whole week. I'm looking at my calendar. I want to get organized in here. I want to make some music today, or at least get started on something, fuck around with Logic, at least get my computer cleaned out or something to set me up for music success, and maybe fuck around with an idea or two. Maybe string my guitar up, play a little piano. I really wanted to start diving into that. And then I also have on my schedule to work on the 360 video. I have this 360 photo booth, and I need to start marketing it and get ready for spring, summer, fall season, where there's events, where there's weddings and all this stuff that I can capitalize on. So I want to get my ducks in a row with that over the next 2 days. So I'm going to be working on that. I also got to edit this photo shoot that I did yesterday. I got to edit another video for Lindsay. I got laundry to do today. But like basically I have today yet, which it's already almost 5. But I have this evening and probably microdose some mushrooms so I can stay up till like midnight. And then I want to work on those things tomorrow and the next day. Obviously Thursday I work. I don't know if that's obvious, but I'm like literally telling nobody my schedule. But Friday is normally the day I work on my podcast for the following week. Peppered in there, I got to get some clips out. I'm really excited to get this fucking switcher for my podcast. So hopefully in the next couple weeks, if not a month, it will be set up to go back to 3 camera angles and live switch it, so I don't have to do that in post, and have a bit better of a product to deliver with still ease of like not a lot of post editing and stuff. So I'm excited for that. Yeah, dude, I'm really jazzed on making music again. I'm hoping I used to make some really good tunes, man, and I spent a lot of time recording. I think I'm pretty good at it. It has been a long time since I've done a lot, so I do think that there's going to be some learning curves and like figuring out how to make things sound good again, but I'm not like at a pro level, but I do think I can make stuff sound pretty decent. And so if I can reignite that and put out halfway decent stuff, that I'm happy with, but yet I don't spend too much time being a perfectionist on, I feel like I can start putting out some cool tunes and putting out TikToks, Instagram Reels with it. I want to create my own Instagram page. I'll keep that posted on here. Start putting out some YouTube videos with some just live stuff of me playing it, singing it. I have to decide if I want to create a separate channel for everything or if I want to do just a separate channel on maybe one, because it just takes so much time. Like, if I'm doing the podcast, I'm putting out, the podcast on YouTube. I'm doing YouTube Shorts. Ideally, I would like to take some of the longer form conversations and put them into a 4-minute video, 3 to 5 minutes, I'd say. And then I'm also doing the TikTok Reels and also Instagram Reels. And so then if I do music, if I do it all on a separate channel on Instagram, what about like a music video or stuff? Do I do it in a separate channel on YouTube? Do I just put it on this one? It's just, if I do them all separate, now I have 6 channels instead of 3 to work on. And that's not even touching Facebook, which is another, there's just so much to do, right? I don't even use X. I barely use Blue Sky. I just did it just to see if maybe I'll just start using it a little bit, but I just post things here and there, and to no avail. But obviously you have to post a long time for anything. There's just so much to work on. At some point, once money starts rolling in a little more for some of my just content and stuff, I will be hiring somebody to do all this stuff for me and just work alongside me, getting the social media stuff out while I'm working on stuff. And I think that'll be a really cool moment. It'll be a big step up for me. I also want to look into maybe internships from BSU and get a young, hungry kid who wants to learn a lot and can help me grow. And then after college, he could get a full-time position with me. If he it's just becoming the next Jamie for Joe Rogan on the bottom floor. I don't mean to compare myself to him. It's going to take a lot of work to get anywhere, but it's just that kind of trajectory. So, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of shit to work on. I will say I'm very proud of myself for doing the 75 hard shit. I'm very proud of not drinking. I know that gets in the way. I fucking love drinking, but it has been a detriment to some of my productivity, and I'm really happy to see how much I can achieve and do while I'm not drinking, while I'm working on improving myself. And so once the 75 hard is up, I am going to get fucked up. No, I'll probably enjoy a week off or so where I, get a bottomless mimosas for a brunch, a time, maybe I'll set up a couple podcasts in a week where I could just be bam, 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 record 3 or 4 podcasts in a week and just be getting pretty drunk and having some fun. And then I'll probably dial it back again. So I can, just I want to see how much I can do without some sort of contract or challenge. I do, hopefully after I gain a little bit more weight through March, I want to start losing some weight for April, May, get into some nice summer shape, get that summer bod, but yeah, I'm going to be turning 40 at the end of summer. And so this is very vain, but I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, dude, I want to be looking shredded for my 40-year-old birthday picture. And so I was like, dude, it'd be cool to learn like the splits or a handstand or something as well. So I was just fucking jacked and tan and like doing a handstand or a split or something like that. That would be kind of fun. But the handstand, the splits probably isn't going to happen. Although like I bought a program that can help you work on that stuff. But I know that I can get in some pretty tip-top shape if I really put my mind to it. So ideally right now I'm trying to gain up to like 200 to ideally I would like to get up to 210. Right now I weighed myself on 195 today. So that gives me another month and a half to get up to 210. That's 15 pounds in a month and a half, which is still a lot. So even if I get up to 2 or 205, and then maybe if I can, by the end of March, get up to 210, and then when I cut back down to like 195, maybe 190 by midsummer, and then that like just do keto for my diet, keep the protein high so like I don't lose any muscle. That would be cool to just be fucking shredded at like 190 or 195. That would be something I've never had before. Normally if I'm shredded and pretty ripped with a pretty good six pack, it's like I'm down to like 175, maybe 180. So sitting at that higher weight would be a really good achievement for me. But we'll see. I don't know. It's been tough for me to gain weight. It's a lot easier for me to lose weight and then cheat every once in a while on it. But dude, it is fuck. But I also need to focus on like strengthening my knees. I need to focus on my flexibility in general and this movement method and stuff. So at the end of the day, even though my vanity wants, the bigger muscles and the ripped nature, like my functionality and the pain that I'm in when I'm doing certain things, all of that says that it's more important to get my flexibility on track, and get my movement. Actually, I think I'm going to be doing my first yoga session on Wednesday. Little nervous for that. I did yoga in P90X. I don't know if you've ever done that, but I didn't actually go to any classes. I just did like whatever their program was. And so this will be like a first time going to a class. I guess there's some sort of free class. Oh, shit. Oh, I set the wrong timer. We're already at like 22 minutes. Okay, well, cool, man. It's been good chatting, and happy to keep doing this stuff. So I will check in tomorrow. Have a great evening. Peace.